Hello fashion people. So in this video I'm going to be doing the cutting and the sewing of this beautiful gown. It's an under bust corset dress and with a high and low lower part. So for the pattern drafting, I'll leave the link in the description box as well as in the comment section. That's the previous video before this. Please do it to check it out. So I'm going to have to cut out my materials. So this is my fabric. This is for the front part of it. So added necessary sewing allowance just as I indicated. So this is half 1.5 and then all over is half inch. Here's also 1.5. Then every other part is half inch. Then this is center front. Some fold. Two center fronts are fold. This is for our front pattern. So I'll be going ahead to join them. Like I'll be sewing this together and I'll be sewing this together by half of an inch like so. And then we'll start doing our bust caging. Then this is for the back. So I'm going to also cut out the lining piece as well. That's why here is two. The main fabric with the lining. So this is this. This is for the back. This is for the back. This is how our back is. So we're going to also cut it out with the lining as well. So I'll go ahead to start sewing them. Just to take note, I used a fusible interfacing for it. There's a fusible for interfacing for the material. That's the wrong side. And so I'll go ahead and start sewing the front first. This is what I have. I'm done sewing it. So you can see this is upper part. I just sewed it by half of an inch. And this is lower part. But this is all the front part of the gown. So the next thing is now I'm going to be, I also did the same thing for the lining piece. The lining piece is exactly like this. And then I'm going to be creating the style line for this lower part. So I'm going to be creating my style line. So for here it's going to be straight and other ones will be going slant. So I'm going to be creating my style and I will show you. And then we are going to be doing a bust caging for the upper parts. So I'm going to go, I've already drawn my style lines. So I'll go ahead and attach my regime bone. So I'm going to be sending my regime bone to it. This is the right main fabric, not the lining piece. So I'll go ahead and sew my regime this way. I'm going to start like from half of an inch because I'm still going to be joining this to the upper parts. Half of an inch. I'm going to take that half of an inch from it and I'll sew down and I'll stop by half of an inch like this upwards. So I'm going to be sewing this. So this is the center line and then other lines went this will be slanty like this. So I'll go ahead and touch my regime bone. So I'm going to be placing my bone in this way. I'll be placing it this way and I'll start sewing it down. I made this on the main fabric, so this is going to be the right side. That's why I did this for the waist area. And then I'm going to be doing bust caging. So for the bust caging, it's going to be on the lining material. This is the lining, but for the waist area, it was done in the main fabric because its design, this is also a style line around the waist area. So over to the back piece, I'm going to be taking out my pin. Let's work on the back piece now. We're also going to be adding our boning to the back piece as well. So this is our center back and this is our side back. I'm going to be taking out my pins. So I'm going to be notching here. Remember that style line that we drew? I'm going to notch here. This is where this is going to start. You get, this is exact point. This is going to start. So I'm going to give it a notch. So what I did is that I'm first of all indicating my style line, my sewing allowance. I left the sewing allowance of 1.5 by the sides. So I'm first of all going to mark out the sewing allowances. So that's what I'm doing here, 1.5, 1.5. And I'm also by the side also use 1.5 for the side as well. Hope you remember. So I'm trying to mark out the 1.5 inches so I can see the space that I'm working with. So that's what I did to the other side. So I'm just trying to explain what I did very well. This is what I did. And here is the lower part and here is the upper part. You get, and here is our center back. So the style line is going this way to the center back, just as the style line went to the center front when we were sewing at center front. So from the back, I'm going to be measuring 2.5 from away from our sewing allowance. So this is it. So I'm going ahead to do my bust caging. I'll be dropping a video on how to do this. So I've done the bust caging for this, for the upper front, and I've also sewn the back. I showed you when I was drawing the style line for the corset boning, or before the regime boning. So I did that for the both fronts, for the two side of the back. So this is it. So then I also sewed the neckline of the back, just the neckline only by half of an inch, and I've sewn it over to the right side. So this is for the other side of the back. So I sewed it up, the neckline. So it's meant to be like this. I remember. So this is the back neckline. So I've sewn it. I've also sewn the front neckline by half of an inch, and I'm doing it a press. So now we have to continue. So to continue, I'm still holding this with a pin. I'm just going to run a stitch just to hold the two together. Just to hold the two together. And then I will be introducing the lower part of the front that will join them together. First of all, let me run a stitch and hold this together so that it can be in place, and then we will continue with the journey. If you watch this video up to now, please don't forget to hit the thumbs, give me a thumbs up, hit the subscribe button, turn the notification bell to get notified whenever I upload a new video, and just be part of the family. So we're going to continue with our sewing. Remember, so I'm going to be introducing this. This is the front part, and I'm going to be aligning it. As you can see, here's the center front line. I'm going to align it to this. So I'm going to start aligning them together. As I align, I pin them down. So I'll keep doing it like So I'm going to start sewing it down by half of an inch. So this is how it's looking. So this is how the front looks now. So it's turning up small small. So this is how our front piece looks. So I'm going to introduce the lining piece on the lower part. So this is the lining piece for the lower parts. I've ironed it as well. So I'm going to be flipping it over like this, and I'm going to be matching it up. So I'm going to put it this way and run a stitch on that same line that I used in joining this to this. I run the same stitch there, and then when I'm after sewing, I'll flip it over so that I can able to cover up this rough edge. So I can able to cover up this rough edge. So I'm just going to do it this way. This is the right side and this is the wrong side. Right side facing wrong side. I'll just tack it down and I'll show you what I have. So I'm going to be pinning it down as well. So now I'm going to turn it over. I'm going to turn it over. You can see? And then this is the wrong side. You can see it's now neat. It's covered up the rough edge that we had there. So this is it. Although you could, if you don't want, if you could also turn the side with your lining, like before attaching the lower parts. You can also do a perfect finishing here by using your lining to cover up the rough edge, like the armhole area, the sides. And when I flip it over like this, I could also use the lining to cover up the rough edge this side. But as it is now, but for now, I'm going to be I will be weaving the sides. So I'll only weave the side, and this is how it's going to be. This is how the front is, and for the sides, I'm going to be doing a weaving to that. I'll be doing a weaving to that. So now let's go back to our back bodice. So let's introduce our back. Let's introduce the back again. So this is the upper back, and this is the lower back. So we're going to be creating a loop for this. I've also created a loop for just normal way you create loop. It's going to be a two loop on these two sides. That's how it's going to be. Then I brought back the front. I'm going to be lining them shoulder to shoulder first. So I'm going to be lining this shoulder to shoulder this way. This is the back piece. So I'm just going to open it up this way and mash it up, mash up the shoulder, open up the lining of the back. I'm going to be using the lining to cover up the shoulder seam allowance. So I'm going to match it up this way, and I'm going to be sewing it down by half of an inch, and also repeat the same thing for this side. So I'm going to sew it down half of an inch this way. That's the same for this side as well. So this is how the neck area is looking. Also for this side. So in our next video, I'm going to be showing us how to do 360-degree finishing. But we'll be working with this for now. I'll be showing you how to do 360-degree finishing in our next corset video. So now we're going to be introducing our loop. This is the back side, this neck area. So I'm going to be placing this loop. So you're going to be determining the side you want your loop to be, either on the right or on the left. And then we're going to be sewing them down. I'm going to be using two loops for mine. So I'm going to be turning the loop over to the right side. Like I'm going to flip it like this, and I'll be sewing it down. So I want my loop to be on this side. That is on my right hand side. So it's going to be this way. Remember, we're going to be turning it over to the right side by half of an inch. I'm just going to be pinning it down first. So when I sew half of an inch this way, it's going to be here. Let's have this enough. So this is the cover button I'm going to be using, placing on this side when I'm done. So I'm going to make sure that it can fit into the hole that I will be leaving. Yeah, I'm going to reduce it small. And I'll use my pin to hold it down first. Take out the lining from the back. So I'm going to be tacking it down first. I'm going to tack it down first. I will separate the lining first and just tack it down before flipping it over. So now I'm going to bring my lining and cover it up now. This is how it's looking at the right side. So I'm going to continue with this. Let's take it back, and I'll be turning this design at the center back by half of an inch. I'll continue my sewing half of an inch here. This is how it looks. I'm still going to be giving it a notch round. Let's turn this first. Turn this side. This is how it's going to be. So it's turning up gradually already. Then I'm going to be cutting out the excess around there so that it can lay flat properly when I iron it up. So I'm going to be trimming this out. You can start to trim off or you can do a notch. So I'm trimming off. So at the same time I'm going to be trimming this side off. So you can see how bulky it's looking. Couldn't lay flat because it's curvy and a lot of fabric inside out of some allowances. So I'm going to be trimming this out so close to the stitch but not through. I'm going to return it back. So when I give it a press now, you can lay it down very flat. So I'm going to go over and iron it out. So lay flat, then we can introduce the lower part. I need to iron this first. So I want to head over to my pressing table and I'll press it down very well. So I've gone ahead to press it down, see how it's looking. I see it's laying down very flat now. So when I'm done, it's going to be this way. I see the curve is showing perfectly. So now I'm going to be introducing the lower part of the back. So this is our lower back piece. So we labeled it up. Or label center back. So this is meant to be this side, like this one. That's why it's good to label. So why this one is your center back and this is up. So this one is going to go this way. So I'm going to be sewing it down by half of an inch. I'm going to be joining it to this lower piece by half of an inch. And I'll do the same thing for the other side. So I'll sew it up. Remember we gave it a notch. So this is where it's meant to stop. Like this upper piece where this curve started. I gave it a notch by cutting. So it's meant to align with it here. I'll pin it down and I'll be sewing it by half of an inch. So the same thing here, this is where it's meant to start on this other side. So it's meant to start this way. You can see it's meant to be like this. So now I'm sewing it. So I'm going to align the notches together, pin it down, and I'll be sewing down by half of an inch as well. So this is the back. I went ahead to attach a zipper to this first without the lining, and then I attach the zipper to the main fabric only without the lining. And so the lining is separate, and then I flipped over the lining this side. So I joined the lining by half of an inch too. After I was done joining the lower part to the upper part, and I'll be covering it this way so that it will give an instant finishing here. So because I want the zipper to be also an instant finishing, I open this lining up like this. Since I've attached the zipper here, I'm using an invisible zipper by the way. So I'll just flip the lining part this way and I'll be sewing it close to this zipper line. I'm going to sewing it close to it so that I can conceal this remaining part of the zipper to give it an instant finishing. So I'm going to be doing that only to the zipper and then we'll continue. So in our next corset class, I'm going to be showing how to do an instant finishing, like a 360-degree finishing on both the sides and every. So you're going to be doing, just going to be covering up the zipper for now. So let's sew it up. So zipper, see it's taking it. This is zipper side. I'll go ahead and turn on this side over too. So I'm going to be holding this down, trying to fabric first. Going to sew it down like this just to put it in place first before we can do our weaving later. This is our zipper. So now our zipper is ready. So I'm going to link the video of how to attach an invisible zipper. Right, video on the channel already that has to do with how to fix an invisible zipper. So yeah, I'll link in the video in the description box as well as in the comment section. Please do check it out. That's the method I use in starting this invisible zipper. So how it fits. So then we're going to continue. I'm going to be measuring my armhole so I can be able to attach my sleeve. So I'll measure my armhole. So I'm going to measure what I have in my armhole like this. And so as you can see, I've already attached my sleeves. So I'm going to have to attach my sleeve. It's a short sleeve. Attach it on both sides. This is the front, this is the sleeves, and then this is the back. So now I'm going to be shaping the side. I'm going to turn this over and flip it over to this side so that I can shape the side. Remember, you use 1.5 inches for this side allowance. So I'm going to be holding half of it by 1.5 inches. Hold it by 1.5 inches, and then we're going to be working on the hem. And the upper part is ready. So now I'm done shaping it. I'll shape the sides. So I'm going to go ahead and use and work on the hem. So I'm using this stripe of fabric. I'm using this to hem it. So I'm going to be sewing like this. Just the way we do our bias. So I'll sew it this way. After which I'm going to use it to cover up the rough edge like so. Just where we sew bias. So I will start sewing now. So this is what our upper body is looking like. So we are done. You see it's like a bias. This is the wrong side. So I'll go ahead and weave the sides, and our upper part is ready. Then we're going to be working on the lower bodies now. The remaining days I'm going to be attaching my button. Already showing the button. It's going to be a 2 button. So a cover button. So I'm going to be attaching this here. I'm going to be attaching this here. That's all. I'm going to be attaching the 2 button, and this is it. Could even sit. Could literally sit. So let's go and work on the lower part. So here I folded my material into 4. I'm going to be doing a high low 360-degree flip. So I folded it to first one, and then I folded this the first one this way, and then second time I folded it this way. So here is the pointy edge. So this is the point. You can see 1, 2. I folded it twice. First folding went inwards, and the second folding this way. So I'm going to be doing my waist divided by 6.28. That's what's going to give me the circumference of my waist. What I'll do is my waist divided by 6.28 plus my full length. So everything, I'm going to do a length of 21 inches for the full length and 17.5 inches for the short length. So it's going to be my waist 28.5 divided by 6.28. That's giving me 4.5. I'm now going to add plus 21 inch, which is the length of the full length of the longer length, and that is giving me 25.5. So I'm going to be adding half inch to it for my seam allowance. So that's giving me 26. So I'm going to mark 26 all round. Keep tilting my tape to get 26. Then I'll connect my lines, my dots, like so. So this is for the full length, and then going to be minusing for the waist circumference. So for the waist circumference is going to be, for the waist circumference is going to be that same 28.5 divided by 6.28. So I'm having 4.5. So I'm going to be marking 4 because half inch is going to be my sewing allowance. So I'm on 5 inches, half 0.5 inches from it. I'm on half inches from it, and now I'm not going to be marking for 4 inches all around, like so. So this is where I'm going to be cutting out. Okay, so for the lower part, it's going to have a band. I'm going to be using a band of 1.5 inches. So I'm going to minus 1.5 inches from the full length. I'm going to minus 1.5 inches from the full length. So it's better I should have marked 25.5 inches instead of 20. That means I should have, when I minus 1.5 from 20, I should be getting 24.5. So I should have marked 24.5 inches initially, and not 26, because 1.5 inches is going to be our waistband. Let's cut this out. So this is what we have. So I'm going to be reducing, I'm going to be indicating where the center is. Can try to give it a notch, so I'll still be cutting it out. Give it a notch like this. So this is the center. Just do it this way, indicate it like so, and then I'll be opening it up. So I've opened it up like this, and so I'm going to be marking the shorter length from here is going to be, so the full length is going to be 22.5 inches. So it's like I'm subtract, yeah, 22.5 inches, right? Okay, I'm going to minus my waistband. So it's going to be 21 inch. That's 20 inches plus 0.5 inches for our hemming allowance. So I'm going to be marking that from this point. I'm going to be indicating that first, and then I'm going to open it more up so before I cut off. So I'm going to be marking 21 inch like this. So I'm going to go ahead and start marking 21 inches from this center point, from this point that I've notched. I'll start marking 21. So now I'm done marking it all around. I've marked it all around, and here I'm going to be indicating where the center is. I'll just mark it this way, and I'll mark it this way too. So then I'll fold it back so I can cut out this. So I can cut out the center. So I'll fold it back again. So you notched it already. So I'm going to be using this notch. I'll fold it back, and I'll lift it up like this. And then let's cut out the waist, and then we'll be cutting out the waist circumference first. So now I'm done cutting out the waist. I'm going to open it up. Now I'm going to be opening it up like this. So here that we marked short, I'm going to be blending it in. Get, so I'll just blend it in like this. So from here we'll just slant it to this place. This is center point. This way we give a notch. So it's going to extend this way, and I'll repeat the same thing for this side as well. So I'll just blend it in. So this was it, and then I'll be slashing it at the back. The longer side is the back. So let me go ahead and do this cutting first, or we can decide to fold it this way so that the two ends is going to be the same. I'm going to be matching up these two places, mash it up like so. Make sure that this line I marked and this here aligns, so you can cut it out so that it will be the same shape. You get. So I'm just going to go ahead and trace out the blended place that we have. So you can either cut it separately, or you can just fold it into two like this and cut. So yeah, I'm going with this. So I'll just go ahead and cut. My scissors is finding it difficult to cut, so I'll just open it up. Scissors is finding it difficult to cut. This is a scuba fabric, so it's thick and it's stretchy at the same time. So I'm going to be cutting separately. Below, and then I'm going to be slashing it up at the middle point of the back. So to get the midpoint, I'm going to fold this back this way, picking up this hook, and then I'll fold this back in. That doesn't stop this matching with you here. I'll fold this back in. So now I've found the midpoint. So I'm going to be slashing one part, not together. I'm going to push this side, this one inward, so I can slash through the longer parts. See, I separated them there. I separated this inside, and I'm going to be slashing. So this is going to be the back. There's going to be a zipper here, so I'm just going to slash this open like this. So this is it. It's going to run all the way to the back, and there'll be a zipper here. So we're done with this. So I'm going to be cutting the waistband. Then for the lining piece, I'm also gone ahead to cut out the lining piece for it. It's going to be a normal 360-degree flare. There's no high, there's no low. I'm going to be using the length of the shorter part for it. And to shoulder point, I'm going to minus 1.5 inches from the full length so that the line will not be showing, it will be inward. So this is it. This is a 360-degree flare, and it's going to be our lining piece. So this is our waistband. This is the same length with our waist circumference. Attach the fusible interface in there, and this is it. And for the lower back, I've already hemmed it. I weaved it and went ahead to hem it. I did the same thing for the lining. So now I'm going to be attaching our band to it. I'm going to attach the band to it, after which I'm going to be attaching an invisible zip to it as well, and then we will now join it to the upper bodice to form a gown. So that is it. Now see our waist is ready. Our skirt, I mean to say, our skirt is ready. So this is the zipper for the skirt. So you just literally wear the skirt on top the blouse and pin it down around. So we are going to be, so this is zipper for the top, this is zipper for the skirt part. So I'm going to join it together at the waist to make it a gown. So this is what I'm working with. So let me close up the skirt zip. So you're just going to be aligning it with the to the waist. Just align it to the waist and pin it down. And then we are going to be leaving space here. So we're going to start our sewing here. See, you're just going to leave like 3 to 4 inches, and then you start your sewing. So you're just going to start your sewing and sew round and stop here 2 to 3 inches at also, so that you can open up this zip. Here will be open, so you can be able to open up the zip and open up this top to be able to wear the gown. So that's how it's going to be. So you get, so I'm going to pin it down, and then I'm going to be sewing on top. So that's why it's good to give your notch. So it's when you give your notch at the same allowance where your waist started. So you're just going to place this over it and sew it, or you can even see it, like, because it's curvy. So your waist area should be the deepest part. It's curved right here, and then went open like this, and then went out like this. So it's going to be like this. This is my waist. So I just pinned it down at that area. So you can see this is just a full skirt and a full blouse, and I'll be sewing it down. Ironing it. So I'm going to, I marked 3 inches away from the zipper. I'm going to start here to sew. I'll sew it all around, and I'll stop here. Here it's 3 inches stopped. So I'm going to be sewing it round now, and that's usually all. So this is it. That's how the waist is. You are done sewing it down. This is how neat it is and how this fit turned out to be. So this is literally all about the gown. So okay, yeah, I'm left with my button. I need to tack down my button here, and that is it. So while doing this, make sure that the zipper aligns, that the zips align, and then I'll tack my buttons. I'll go ahead and so this is what our gown is looking like. See how beautifully it turned out. And this